Hey guys, there are a couple of people out there who seem to enjoy the projects from the old Japanese farmhouse. So most of the projects are pretty boring, but they do insist that we show the boring ones as well. Some people are interested in them for some strange reason. So we've got a little project going on at the moment, nothing terribly exciting, but it should be finished within the next week. It's sort of like all these little jobs, it's a little part-time job in between the real work. So it'll be finished sometime the next week, and we'll have a video out there, and so that should make some people happy. There are a couple of people anyway. The reason for this video is somebody asked earlier today if it was possible to send us some support via PayPal, and the answer was yes. Yes it is. So like some of you guys, this has been a pretty crappy year for us. Our incomes from our usual income has been about half of what it usually is, and what it usually is usually just enough to pay the bills. So we've been getting about half the income that we need to pay our bills. So we've got a corkboard in the house that's just slowly getting covered in bills, and when some income comes in, we pay off a bill, whichever one's the most urgent, usually electricity and things like that. So it's been pretty tough. We're hoping that next year things will improve, but it means that our support from our patrons and our other supporters who support our channels become more important. And instead of being a sort of a part-time job, or a minor part-time job that our YouTube and our videos and photos usually are, has become more important. So we're putting a lot more time into it. One advantage of work being down is the fact that our real work being down is the fact we've got more time to put into photos and videos, which is sort of our way of sort of thanking and rewarding the people who've been supporting the channel. So the reason for this video is there are some other people out there who've had a bad year too, and so as a result of that we've lost some patrons, and some of our more generous patrons have had to cut their support because they haven't been able to afford to keep it up. So the end result of that is our patron support has really dropped off, the channel has really dropped off. So it's sort of a little bit dire. So that's the reason for this video, is to say if you appreciate our videos and our photos and you want to support our channel, the two options are via Patreon. Patreon's our choice because we do like Patreon, because it really is a good way for us to keep track of the people who are supporting us. It also means that every video and photo that we post on Patreon, everybody can comment. All the patrons can comment, and we can exchange comments, and we can discuss it, and all those good things. So we think Patreon's the best choice for that, and also for keeping track of people's support and so on as well, so we know what people are supporting us with, and that sort of thing. However, having said that, there's some people who prefer PayPal, and that we have had some people supporting us on PayPal for a couple of years, and we really appreciate that too. So it just doesn't give us that interaction that we get on Patreon, so that's why we prefer Patreon. But by all means, if you prefer PayPal to Patreon, then we're really, really happy to have that support too. So the two options, if you haven't checked out Patreon already, underneath this video there's going to be a link to our Patreon page, and there's going to be our PayPal address, which is all you need to be able to support the channel via PayPal. You just need our PayPal address. You go to PayPal and you can just support the channel using that PayPal address. So that's the two best options for that. Those of you who don't have any money and can't afford to support the channel, then the other option for you guys is Facebook. That's the other place where we communicate sometimes with people. But the most of our communication and the most of attention, of course, the 198 people who support us on Patreon, of course, to us, without those guys we wouldn't be making videos or posting photos anymore, basically. So those guys are really, really important, obviously, to us and to anybody else who likes our work, because without those patrons we wouldn't be doing this. We'd have to be getting another part-time job somewhere else in a convenience store or something to pay the bills. So it really is really important to us. So if you're already on Patreon, you can and you're sort of putting your minimum support, and you can afford to step up the support a little bit, that'd be fantastic. If you're not on Patreon yet, please have a look at the Patreon page and think about supporting us on there. Have a look, even if it's just a small amount a month. It adds up. It adds up. No matter how small the monthly pledge is, it all adds up. Really makes a big difference. And if you don't like those options, then PayPal's the other option. So by all means. So to those who are keeping the channel going with your support, we really appreciate it, because we love doing it. You know, every time we go somewhere, there's always things that we see. You know, and someone's saying, "Oh, get the camera, quick! Look at that!" You know, there's always some beautiful scene or something interesting, or it's just too easy. It really is too easy, and we love it. Because partly it's great sharing it with people, but also when you're thinking like that, you notice stuff more. You know, so we all do. You know, driving around with the family in the car, and we all notice, hey, stop, quick, get the camera, stop the car. You know, let's get a quick video of that. That's interesting. You know, you become much more observant, because we're seeing it through your eyes, basically. You know, we're appreciating it ourselves. Well, look at the colour of that tree, or look at that interesting vending machine, or look at that whatever else it is that we've spotted. But so we enjoy it too, but we also know, oh wow, the guys might like this, you know, the guys might appreciate this one. So never know what you guys are going to like. We post it all because different people like different things, but we never know what's going to be popular. The most popular video this week was the What the Fence video. What the fence? Sort of thought that was interesting. We thought it was interesting, but didn't think many other people would. But we post everything because, you know, there's always someone who likes something and someone who doesn't, you know. What the Fence was a popular video, surprisingly. Anyway, there it was. Thanks again, guys. Underneath this video in the description is the PayPal address and our Patreon page. So thank you very much again. Time to get back to work. Try to reach all the way from the front to the back here to support the nut on the inside of this screw from here. Might need an assistant. Anyway, there it was. More videos coming soon.